Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mr.Fred and Friends. I'm your host, Fred Schultz, and got another pretty cool show for you tonight. I've got the never boring, always smiling, kicking your butt, Zach Arbuckle on tonight. Um, if you don't know Zach, it's too bad because he's a pretty funny guy. Bond Chick, Paul Farrell, first one on tonight. How you doing, Bond Chick? Kenny Stewart, General Paintball Museum. Kenny will be on tomorrow night. You're going to want to watch his show too. Boy, him and Bill have some pretty cool stuff. They got guns that go back to like the Stone Ages, man. And speaking of markers now, obviously we're going to have the great Zachar on tonight, but we're going to have a gentleman named Dan from Trigonomics on tonight. And he makes some markers. I'm hoping we're going to throw some pictures up. But let me tell you guys, some of these markers the guy's a jeweler, so I mean, it looks like a piece of art. It doesn't even look like a marker. It's just so absolutely incredible. It just blow you away. Ryan Courtney, how you doing, my friend? Oh, what great people I got to tell you. Anyhow, I got a few things I want to mention before I drag these guys out. I've got another kid. I've taken a little heat. People go, why do you keep mentioning these people that are, that need help and need this and that, Let me tell you guys, if you ever want to have a sport that's recognized by people that don't play the sport and really feel that we do a lot for the people in our sport, this is kind of how I do it. Some people aren't happy with me doing it. Well, that's a shame. It really is. I believe in helping people that need a hand. And if you're not that type, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. You don't have to watch my show. I really don't care if you do, because you're really not the type of person I want watching it anyhow. So anyhow, I finally got that off my chest because I've been burning that all day long thinking about that. There's a gentleman, a kid, and Ian Jocks, I hope I pronounced his name right. Anyhow, he's one that made me aware of this. And there's a paintball player that's a friend of his back on the East Coast, and his 8-year-old son was just diagnosed with leukemia. Okay? So anyhow, his birthday is coming up this Saturday. And everybody thought he gets so turned on when he gets the card. So I'm kind of putting it out there right now. If you get on Flagpole Productions, you'll see the address to send it to. And, if you could just take, a few minutes to and maybe $1 for a card and a few cents for a stamp to make a kid really, really happy, I think that would really be special. I'm sending him something that I want to give to him that not very many people have. But if you could send him a card to let people know that you're thinking about him, but you're also thinking about his parents, because, you wouldn't want to have to go through something like that with your 8-year-old son being diagnosed with that. So jump on Flagpole Productions and check it out. And his name is Cameron Montoya. And his birthday is coming Saturday on the 20th. And I just think I would consider it a personal favor if you guys would do that. Send him a card and let's make him feel good. Okay. And a couple other things. I had Daniel Gonzalez on a couple of weeks ago, and he's doing a fundraiser for his friend, which is also on Flagpole Productions. And his daughter has stage 3 cancer, and she's a teenager. So if you jump on Flagpole Productions, and maybe send a card and maybe donate something to Gonzalez. He's going to have a raffle here in a couple of weeks. Maybe donate something to the raffle, or just maybe donate $5 to the cause. I think all of that would really go a long, long ways. I know when I do something like that, it makes me feel good. Tracy Perez is on right now, and I love Tracy Perez. I got to meet her. I've got to know her over the years. Terrific person, but I would have never known her without the help of Gino. Gino that owns Belkin got a hold of me and says that Tracy had a fibrosis of her lungs, and she's been fighting through it. Doctor bills are just enormous. And if it wouldn't have been for Gino telling me that, it wouldn't have been for Bill Bailey jumping in with me and doing this, we raised over $6,000 for Tracy. And I just, I considered it a privilege to do it. And you know what? Every time I think about it, it makes me feel good. So, the Daniel Gonzalez thing and the other little gentleman that is Cameron Montoya. Get on Flagpole Productions, check it out. Take a couple minutes, send them a card, maybe a donation. I'd really appreciate that. I think the families really would too. Like I say, it goes a long way. When we all work together, we make paintball bigger and better, people. That's all there is to it. Yeah, and Tracy, we love you, babe. Really. Absolutely. And since I got into doing this, I take some heat up this. I cannot believe somebody giving me crap about trying to help somebody. I mean, if you're that shallow, I really don't want nothing to do with you. So anyhow, okay, I'm done with that. Before I start getting a little peeved here. A couple things I want to mention. We've got the Montresor Classic coming up. Jennifer and Frank are holding it at Fox Paintball, and it's going to be July 29th and 30th in Yorkville, Illinois. You get a chance, you're going to want to do that. The Montresors are, they're a couple of good people, work really, really hard for paintball, and I support them all the way. And I'm hoping that you guys will support them also and jump in there. And then I have to mention the WCPL, which I am part of. I love the WCPL, and the next one is coming up June 9th, 10th, and 11th, and it's in Newburgh, New York. And I got to tell you, I already got my tickets. I've had my ticket now for a few weeks. I am just absolutely excited about going there. I think it's one of the coolest things that can happen. I just absolutely love it. And I got Dirk Gadbury, and Dirk was on my show last week. What a great guy. I mean, too smooth. He's just so smooth. I probably won't have him on again because he upstaged me so much, but I love the guy. He's a great guy. He's really good for paintball. And him and the OG Ironman are going to be there. I'm looking forward to playing against them also. I think that's going to be very, very cool. And then I just want to go ahead and mention my shout outs real quick. Right after I show you, this is the new Tiger Stripe jersey. And it doesn't have this inside. It's a knockoff. This is the original Tiger Stripe jersey. And they're for sale right now at Social Paintball. And teams, if you have a team, you get like 20% off. Stores, you got to contact them for pricing and stuff like that. But I absolutely love it. I'm wearing one right now. This is the OFG version. Let me stand up. Right back there. When Tim made these way back in the day, I kind of made this one. I started wearing it, and everybody started loving it. So it was like ended up being the original official Fred gear. So Tim has put this on my sleeves someplace here. I guess wrong hand. Anyhow, so that's on the sleeve of the black sleeve jersey. And I love this. Tiger Stripe camouflage, has been copied so many times in so many different ways, and I kept begging Timmy for years and years and years, buddy, you got to take and come back. You got to bring the original Tiger Stripe back because everybody's jumping in on it. Well, the original Tiger Stripe is back, and it's got Timmy's logo in it. And Tim Schloss is one of the best, nicest people you'll ever meet, period. As a matter of fact, Tim is on the top of my list. Let me give my shout outs real quick because I got some cool people to bring out here tonight. You're going to like these guys. You're going to like Dan's unbelievable. When I say unbelievable, I mean, it's an understatement. His markers are terrific. And then I got Zach Armbuckle on. A lot of people know Zach. He's a kick in the pants. He really is. And I finally got him to come out of his shell tonight, so he should be pretty darn funny. I'm looking forward to this. I'm liking it. So I'm going to bring Bill up real quick here. My little buddy, William Bailey. What's going on, Billy?
Not much.
I know. I'm sitting here waiting for you to start munching on a candy bar or something to drink.
I'm afraid to get a Dr. Pepper out of my refrigerator because I knew you were gonna bring me on right when my butt's right there in the spring.
Yeah, like last week when you froze up with the drink, that was hilarious. Everybody thought that was a Bud Light.
No, Pepsi
cracking me up. Yeah. So anyhow, let me give my shout outs real quick because I got some good guests to bring on here tonight. Yep, Tim Schloss, Tiger Stripe Camouflage, obviously, owns Gateway Paintball, which is the last of the WCPLs, which I'm looking forward to having everybody there at that. That's in St. Louis, and that's going to be in October. I'm hoping Bonchik's going to be there. I know Dirk Gadbury and the OG Ironmen are going to be there. It's just going to be great. It really is. And I see Stefan Santersola is on tonight. We call him Gumby because I have to say his name very slow, and then I probably butchered a little bit. But yeah, there you go. Psycho Clowns. I'm going down there weekend after this coming weekend. Satcon Village. Satcon's breaking in a brand new field down there. So we're going to go break that in along with Coda, which is Gumby's son.
Yeah.
Graduated from high school. So we're having his graduation party. His wife, Julie, has just been going nuts taking care of all this stuff. So I am really looking forward to going down there. I'm bringing my wife down there, which her birthday is tomorrow. So, I can't wait for her to meet. She knows Gumby already, but his family is just terrific, aren't they not, Billy?
Mm-hmm. They're good people.
That's just absolutely terrific. It really
He's a workaholic.
He is that. And I see Uncle Kevin's walking, so that can mean none other than Bear Man, Kevin Donaldson. Kevin, just got done talking about the Newburgh event, the WCPL 9th, 10th, and 11th of June. I am stoked. And I got David Bell, Viewloaders playing on my team. Yep. I've got John Amadea playing. I got Thomas Gee. I got my buddy Andy Starrett from Ellie Remember, and his son are both coming out. So we're going to miss you, Bill, but going to have a good time. Yeah, it's
have a good time.
I'll send you pictures.
Make sure you eat a lot of good food down there at that Greek restaurant.
That's already a given. A given. So anyhow, give me a shout outs real quick so I can get these guys out here. Tim Schloss, like I say, has Tiger Stripe Camouflage, has Gateway Paintball in St. Louis. And, if you guys are in the St. Louis area and you want to play a field that is absolutely terrific, you're going to want to go and check that out. Kevin said he got my golf cart. Thank God.
I hope it goes faster than 3 miles an hour.
I kind of think that was a personal joke, but it was funny, I got to admit. And if you had to walk that quarter mile, that 3 miles an hour wasn't so bad.
Well, it was nice because you couldn't get away from the sights.
There you go.
The Caesar sighting.
There you go. Yeah. Moon over Miami.
Yeah.
So, and then next on my list, Dan and John Colby. They had Air Market back in the day. They have Immortal Air today. And I've been sponsored by them guys for like 32 years. Been a long, long time. So, and then Mr. Bud Orr. Bud, there you go. Bud Orr, a great friend of ours. Made one of the best markers out there, and they're still rocking today. Unbelievable. Love the guy, big time. And then Tom K. Tom K was my second mag sponsor for years and years. Had Airgun Designs with the Automag. Rainey and Juvie Boucher had Paintball News back in the day. 2 times a month, you could go out to the field and pick up this newspaper. Didn't cost the player a penny. I mean, it told you what was happening, what just happened, what was coming up, for things for sale, where all the fields were located. It was like the Bible of paintball. Am I right, Billy?
All new product, all the stuff that's going on in tournaments, and even rec ball back then. And
what's good is, Rainey and Juvie were such good people. They're just great people. And then Randy Camilla, APG, back in the day, gave me my first cover shot. Jerry Braun, Paintball Sport Magazine, back in the day. And now he has Paintball Sports Field, where the game is going to be played. Newburgh, New York. Going to love it. Yep. And then Ross Alexander, Line SI. Ross was my very first marker sponsor. I still have my original Bushmaster. My first professional tournament was as a 15-man team with Constant Pursuit. Then Jim Lively, 2 tournaments back in the day you wanted to do. Jim Lively's Masters, Jerry Braun's World Cup. Great tournaments, great times because of the people that showed up there. And then I have to mention Gino. As I mentioned earlier, Gino from Belkin. Gino does an awful lot for paintball. Absolutely love what he does for paintball. Yep. He doesn't, you guys don't see a lot of what he does. I'm so grateful that I'm lucky enough to kind of be on the inner circle with these guys, and I hear what he does, and it's absolutely terrific. It really, really is. And I got Happy Holton watching. Happy's playing on the band out there too in New York.
Oh, so sweet Jeebus.
Him and the Spiker. I love it. Yeah, I cannot wait. And then every week I say to my 2 young guns, which I absolutely love, Mark Gong Jr. and Jaden Gong, 2 of the best little young guns out there. And then the next week or 2, I'm going to have the Maui Misfits back on. I absolutely love that group of kids. They are so upbeat. You know, you get near them, man. You know, you feel like you just drank a gallon of Mountain Dew because you feel so up around them. It's just incredible. So anyhow, I've given all my shout outs. So I think right now what I'm going to do is bring out a guy I've got to meet quite a while ago. I think he's a kick in the pants. I don't know what Bill thinks of him. You know, Bill was bad mouthing him in the green room, but yeah, anyhow. So please, everybody welcome my friend and Bill's friend, Mr. Zach Arbuckle. There you go. There you go. That's right. You are a psycho clown, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's right. You know that you can laugh, but I got to tell you that is a terrific organization. That the Psycho Clowns have some of the best people I've ever met in paintball on that team.
Is David still in Poland right now, or where's he at?
Dave?
Dave? Yeah. You mean Dan?
No.
Dan?
Dave?
No. Odell.
Dave Odell.
Yeah.
I thought he was in California.
A hush falls over the crowd. Yeah.
They were going over to play in a MagFed game in like Croatia or Poland or somewhere.
I don't think that happened yet.
Yeah, that might not have happened because I haven't heard of anybody going over there to do anything yet.
So. My shirt is in the wash because I got my ass kicked last weekend.
And that was before you got on the field, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? We're going to talk a little bit about the living legends coming up here, but you know, you turned me on to a guy, Dan from Trigonomics. I mean, some of his artwork on the markers are, I don't know. I mean, mind-boggling, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
We shipped him over here from Germany.
Yeah, I know that, you know, and he says never will he go in a box again. That was very cruel of you. You know, next time buy him a ticket so he has a seat. So, but anyhow, you know, it is what it is. So, but, you know, I'm going to bring him on right now. And Zach, I'm very glad that you brought him up and to bring him on the show because I looked at some of his works and, yeah, like I say, mind-boggling. You know, it's incredible what he does. So please, everybody, welcome Dan at Trigonomics. I guess we'll go there. How are you doing, Dan?
Guten Tag. Es ist sehr schön, hier dabei zu sein.
That's easy for you to say.
Dan actually doesn't speak English. I think he said his bathtub is full of eels.
Yeah. No, I translated as why is Zach on with us, but I don't know.
You're right, Fred. You got it right on the head.
You know, Dan, I got to tell you, I looked at some of your work and, buddy, it is, I mean, I don't even have words for that. That is absolutely incredible. Look at that.
Thank you so much.
Look at this.
It shoots.
That's what I'm talking about. No. These aren't fake markers. These are real. I mean, look at that.
Let's
Can you hold it up to the camera?
This one shoots.
Yeah. Can you hold it in front of your face? Yeah, there you go. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm hoping Dan's got some that he can show us here tonight.
Dan's got the pretty stuff.
I've got my Sterling here. This one is the first gun that I ever owned. And I completely made, let's see here. I completely made the entire grip frame for it out of a block of aluminum because the original one was not that nice.
Wow.
It's not completely assembled because I have everything a little bit packed up. Tomorrow we're getting out of here early, but you can see kind of the tree work.
Wow. Unreal.
So that's my Sterling.
It's like the roots going into it for the ball drop.
Yeah. I've got the Warp Fed mag. I was a real fan of the Warp Fed body when it came out.
Oh my
Messed
God.
around with that. So that'll be on display. All of these will be on display at Living Legends.
Will you look at that? Wow.
And we got
Yes, Josh, that is a lot of polish. Believe me.
yeah, there's a lot of polishing involved. This is the other half of the block that I cut the sterling
Oh,
grip frame out of. So I decided to make a grip frame for my mag.
God.
I'm trying to get these angles as good as I can. We do have a page on Facebook that we're kind of showing the stuff on.
I'm starting to make little gallery blocks that have the history and all the pictures.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Zach has two at his place. He has the painted one, and
yes, I have. This is number 2, the one that I pulled out. So this is the micro cocker, and then I have the dolly here, and I am not pulling the dolly out. The dolly is the most fragile thing I've ever touched in my life.
I think I seen you put pictures of it online, I believe. I think I seen pictures of it.
Yes, I sent it to you in Messenger in case you could figure out technology to put them here.
Yeah, wow. Figure out technology. You're talking to the wrong guy here.
I know. I'm trying to bring youth to this show.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
this is the EMAG. This one took me
get out of here
20 years to finish.
Yep, yes, I am.
I've been messing with this one forever, and actually I was going to leave it lying there in the closet, and my friends last year, they said, Dan, you can't do that. You have to finish that thing. And I did. So I'm really happy with it, and I'm loving it that I get to display it, and I'm loving it that I get to hang out with some good old paintball people here in the U.S. and just have some fun like I always used to.
That is incredible. I mean, how long did it take you to do that?
This one is my nemesis. This one was 1,800 hours of work.
Wow. So see, Zach
over
said
20
Zach
years.
A weekend. So wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a lot involved with that. I mean, it's hard to explain. You kind of got to really get close and look in and all the nooks and crannies. You have to imagine this was all solid aluminum, and you kind of just carving it all out bit by bit.
Yeah, Dan, let me ask you, did you carve that all from one piece, or did you braid some of it together?
This is a stock EMAG from AGD. So I take the aluminum parts that he has, and I rework them.
Here's the rest of it.
Yeah, there's not much left. These
are the parts that aren't in it.
That is absolutely incredible. Oh,
it's fun stuff. It's really fun just to go down in the basement, turn on the tunes, and just start torturing metal. Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, do you when you start that, do you have some kind of a game plan, some kind of a blueprint, or you just whatever floats your boat, you're doing it, right?
I'm not going to pull this out of the padding that I have, but that's the dolly. It's all nice and polished up. Believe me, I had a tutorial on how to polish metal from this guy. Hey, I'm over here. That guy.
Yeah. Zach's been doing a great job taking care of my stuff over in the States. I love it. He's helping me out a lot.
I have a great picture of, and I guess I recreated one of Dan's pictures of me displaying the mad cocker disease with Band-Aids all over my hands.
Yeah, these tend to get a little bit sharp in some spaces. They've drawn a lot of my own blood over the years.
Well, that's why Zach has a beard. He had trouble shaving also. So,
No, hold on. We got to give Fred a beard now because you're the only one in here. I mean, I'm bringing the youth. You still got the baby face though.
I do feel a little naked. Yeah, you're right. So.
I also have his old EMAG trigger here.
Oh goodness!
See if I can get it to focus.
Wow. That is just incredible. That's like art, is what that is.
Thank you.
I mean, that is art. What do you think, Billy?
Yeah, that's what I've always said. That's what I've always called it.
I mean, it just look at that.
Yes. the shield
Get
trigger
out of here.
you started making. Oh God.
Wow. Unreal.
Now I will say at Living Legends 7, when I saw the mad cocker disease for the very first time, I cried. And there was a video of me crying over the mad cocker disease.
That's unreal.
My other one is the Ultra Mag, which I get to see in 2 days.
If I don't forget it.
Dan is going to get to see me cry over another one of his guns again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, unbelievable. You know, I got to tell you, you know, seeing those on the screen like this is blowing me away. But I bet you holding it, looking at it up close and personal, it's just got to be astonishing.
I can tell you they blow me away sometimes too. I mean, I'm trying not to brag here or anything, but when I'm done with one of these, I mean, my wife can move out or I can. Because I just like hang out with them for days, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm going like, "What did I do? And why did I do this?" And it was so much fun to make. So
yeah, I'll tell you, Dan, you've earned the right to brag.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Dan and I have a really great friend of ours coming to Living Legends this weekend. Somebody that we've known on Automags Online, gosh, now since 2001, before 2001, 2002 era. Since I've known him, and I'm finally like Living Legend 7 was my first time meeting him, but when he picked up the mad cocker disease, he actually said that he almost hurt it because he thought it was packing material. That's how light the gun is.
Wow, unreal.
And when you pick up the barrel, just the barrel of the mad cocker disease, it's so light that it can rival a carbon fiber barrel that's out there. And
wow.
it's that there's that little bit of metal on it.
Well, do you take and shave the barrels down also, Dan?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, you can see that right there. That, I mean, this is packing material inside of but this used to be a normal ported front part of the barrel, but I just totally turned it into spaghetti.
Wow.
And I mean,
I'll tell you, that's amazing, my friend.
You can see how this is basically.
Oh gosh. Don't bend the little
yeah, be careful.
You see how thin that all gets in the front there.
That.
I know you made it, but you're making me nervous.
That is unbelievable. Wow. So you do all of this with a little grinder?
Yeah, with a similar to a Dremel tool. It's actually it's a Fordham flex shaft, and it's a little bit more powerful than a Dremel. And just take the grinders, put them in there, whatever size fits, and just grind away.
Wow. So you're going to take those then to Living Legends this coming weekend.
That's right. I'm on my way tomorrow.
That's up in Michigan now, correct?
Yeah, we're going to be driving from Pennsylvania. I have family here. I'm at my parents' house. I flew over here just for this event. Actually, my dad's also turning 80, so it's kind of all worked out well together.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So.
I may have bullied him into it a
little bit. Yeah. Zach had a bit to do with it.
Yeah, I wanted to go there, because, Hannah was asking me every year, but I have so many trips lined up, it's just hard to do everything.
Yeah.
And so, if I went there the next weekend, I'll be in LA, then a couple weekends after that in New York. So are you how long are you staying in the US, Dan?
Just 3 weeks. I have to get back to work. I'm going to be in Michigan until Sunday. We're going to leave Sunday, and then I'm going up to Maine to visit my paintball buddies and hang out with them for a week, and then I'm coming back to the family, and then I'm flying home. Got
it. Yeah, because we're having the WCPL in Newburgh, New York, the 9th, 10th, and 11th. So, it's a shame you're not going to be around to hang out.
Yeah, I'd really like to be able to visit more people and reach out and get more contacts just for the fun of it. But I'm really happy I got Zach here. He's really helping me out, and maybe he'll be taking these pieces all around to all the different events, and they'll get to be seen more, which was kind of my hope now.
Well, I got to tell you, I just Zach's a good guy. If you'd trust anybody, it would be Zach. He's a pretty good guy. And Bill up there, Bill, has hundreds and hundreds. Okay, I wasn't lying, Zach. I'm telling you the truth. You're a good guy. Remember, you said the check's in the mail.
Put a clown sticker on
it. But Bill up there, he has a museum, Dan, and he has literally hundreds upon hundreds of markers.
I was hoping that Bill would be coming, and we had a few plans together, but they're not working out. But maybe they will next time, right, Bill?
Yep, that's what I'm hoping for.
That's right.
So
that's what we're
your
doing.
home right now is in Germany, then, right, Dan?
What's that?
Your home right now is in Germany?
That's right. I lived there with my family for the last 20 years.
He polishes things for a living.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes, I do.
I would have never guessed that.
I work for a plastics company, and we work on steel molds. So, yeah, I polish the molds.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is
it's fun
so
work.
It's absolutely impressive. I mean, that's about all you can say about it.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
These are some grips that he just made me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and if Zach's a good boy, I might even have another set of grips for him. Let me see if I find them here.
The bike
grips, you might want to store those away then. You know, if he's got to be a good boy to get them. I don't know. Yeah.
Just take back everything you said about him just a little while ago.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, those grips will have spider webs on them.
These are the bite grips.
These
are the fangs.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
What do you charge for a set of grips like that?
For a set of plates like this is about $500.
$500.
You're looking at they're looking at about 50 hours of work for this. So I only charge $10 an hour, so I'm really cheap.
Wow. So that many hours.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I don't sleep usually on the weekends when I do this stuff. I just go down in the basement and I don't come back.
So he's got 1,800 hours into that EMAG.
There you go. I got to tell you, you know, what better hobby could you have? You know, Bill sits and builds guns all the time. You know, his wife goes to bed early and he sits out there and like a little hermit and just builds. Yeah, see, he's getting the itch right now.
I can totally appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys are going to have a lot of fun at the Living Legends. And I know
we will.
That are going to be going there that are going to get to see some of your work. They're going to be amazed. You know, years ago, I was we used to do big games at Tim Schloss's field in St. Louis. And Tom Kay was my sponsor for Airgun Designs back then. And we had a big game there one time, and Tom brought in a guy that did engraving on the markers and stuff like that. And the guy sat right there, you know, with his little stuff and engraved guns right there. And people thought that was amazing. But to look at some of the stuff you are doing, there's got to be some kind of word that's like 10 times better than amazing, but I can't think of it. No, it's not Zach either.
I forget which Living Legends it was, but
unreal.
But I was there when Tom was holding one of them in his hands, and he's just like, holy.
Yeah, Bill, the guy did it. I mean, we were sitting there out back at Timmy's shop right there, and we were all having hamburgers and stuff like that. And people were bringing over their markers, and the guy was tooling them right there by hand. I want to say now, he was tooling them by hand. But you know, it wasn't even in the ballpark of how intricate your stuff is. But
well, I would like to say hand engraving is a technique and an art of its own. And I believe I know who you're talking about. And his name is Mark Davis. And he is really good at what he does.
Oh, yeah.
And not just good, Dan. He was real fast. I mean, it was amazing how quick he was doing it.
Yeah.
He's moving back to Missouri here in a couple months.
Okay.
I seen he was going to be one of the general managers at G&G Paintball there in Wentzville.
All right. Well, maybe someday you'll get us together, Bill, and we'll do a collaboration. We'll do an engraved, carved marker. We'll do something.
Holy shit!
Something crazy.
That would be the most amazing gun in.
That would be fun. Yeah, that'd be fun. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah.
Must be an onion factory around here somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What
Whoa.
happened?
Uh-oh.
Night vision.
Night vision. We still see you, Fred.
Yep.
What happened?
You're still there.
You lost power somewhere. Your lights went down. You're still on.
Fred, come to the light.
Yeah.
You know, last time I did that, it was a train coming through the tunnel.
Carol Ann.
Oh,
Let me see what's
goodness.
happening here. I don't know what's going on. Wow. That must have had a
Okay.
power surge or something like that. I can still see you guys on my computer. but
Oh,
We
you
can
know,
hear
now-
you. We can
Yeah,
hear you fine.
There's another light just came on. You're getting your lights back slowly.
I
It's
am, yeah.
It's California.
Yeah, you know, you're right.
Tell them
Come
to get
on.
their
There we go. Yay.
solar
Yeah,
panels.
I can see you guys because I got a 60-inch TV back here. That's what I look at, you know. So when it went dark, you know, I'm down here looking like this, trying to figure out what's going on the screen here, man. So, wow, I've never had that happen before. That is wild.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we were doing the show one time, Dan, all kidding aside. Next thing I know, the show stopped and everything was in French. Remember that,
Okay.
Bill?
Yeah.
Everything was in French.
He got hacked
So,
big time.
yeah, I got hacked and they did put it all in French, you know.
Wow.
So, you know, obviously I'm lost with English, let alone French. You know?
All I can offer you is German.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, you know, years ago when we were over, we did a tournament in England, and Tim Schloss from Tiger Stripe Camouflage and we jumped on a train and we went over to Germany. And we were so amazed, first of all, how clean everything was. That kind of blew us away. And then we went by a meat shop, and all the sausages were laid perfectly. Just everything was systematically, it blew us away. It was very, very impressive. And that was the first time I ever seen the pillars come up out of the ground. A garbage truck pulls up and these big pillars go down in the ground. The garbage truck drives through. The pillars come back up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, you know, that'd be good security for our government. So, but, you know, it was absolutely amazing. Kenny Stewart says he knows an electrician. There we go.
So getting his collection over here was an undertaking of months and months of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we had this mutual friend named Sven, who's a great guy. And I put me, Dan, because the best way of just here, talk to this person. So you do a 3-way group chat, and then once the 2 people are talking, you just leave the group chat and let them talk. And I didn't need to do that. I connected these 2 people, and Dan said something in German, and I went, oh, okay, I want to know what Dan said. Put it in Google Translate. Went back over there. They said 2 things. I went, oh, I'm going to need to translate that. By the time I got over there, I was like an immigrant at the DMV. I just... and apparently they're working something out over here, and that they ended up getting them over here. Dan, what was the place that they shipped out of? What was that field?
Yeah, there's a paintball company in near Frankfurt, actually. They're called Massive Entertainment. And the 2 guys who run the company, Stefan and Holger, are they run a paintball field over here in Germany. And the problem is that Germany is very strict about its paintball regulation. You can only shoot 220 feet per second. Anything over that is considered a firearm.
Oh, wow.
And all the markers need to be stamped, and they need to be registered. So mine weren't stamped and weren't registered, although they were legally obtained in the country. And I had to go through these guys to get this sent over because they are weapons dealers, and they are allowed to export and import. I, as a private citizen, I would have been charged with weapons smuggling.
You know what to do next time is just stick a cord in one end and a bulb in the other. They'd never know the difference. I'm telling you. It looked like a fancy lamp.
I didn't want to risk it.
Shout out to these guys.
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
gotten in trouble over there.
That is
Yeah.
amazing that you have to go through all that. So, real quick, I'm sorry, Bill, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to find out. So, you have to have all your fancy markers stamped?
Yes. Even the prettiest of the prettiest anodizing gets this. It's an F in a hexagon. And actually, they're actually stamping them now with 68 cal, too. They put that on there. So they do defile the markers, so to say.
Can it be put like on the inside of a grip or something?
Nope, it has to be visible.
Wow. You know what? Then why can't you just put another fancy little piece on it and say stamp it here? Something that you could take off when you felt like it.
It has to be on the grip frame.
I'm trying hard here. I'm trying hard.
You're not. Wow. They've thought of everything.
We've had this discussion. We've had days and days of.
Yeah, we were ready to give up on this, but these guys pulled through and they made it happen for me.
During D-Day, I'd sell tactical trilogies at D-Day to German players because they could buy them because they were stamped with the F. You know.
Oh yeah. I'm seeing if I can find the stamp here actually on my. Let's see.
I don't know if I got any handy or not.
Images. No. Oh.
All the trilogies I got are all grinded down and converted into weird stuff. So.
Zach, do you know Josh Estrada?
Probably.
Yeah, he's out here in Southern California. What a great kid. He really, really is.
That's the stamp that you have to get put on. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's about a quarter, maybe about that big, about a quarter of an inch, maybe, and from the top
to bottom.
A little
bit bigger than a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. It really is.
No, I don't think I've met Joshua.
What's that?
I don't think I've met him before.
He's a great kid. He watches my show. He has watched my show from the very beginning every week, right? So for 2 years,
it's in his time zone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I can see your eyes bagging already. Yeah, I knew you were going to fight to stay up. Look at poor Dan. Although it's still early.
Dan's on jet lag, and it's like 10:30 there, 10:45.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh, like I say, watch his show every week for years. And then I never got to meet him. And then I did the tournament, the WCPL tournament at the beginning of this year. This guy comes up and taps me on the shoulder. And who is it? Josh Estrada. So I finally got to meet him. What a great kid. So I just, that's one thing that I got to tell you, Dan, that I love about paintball. Because, I never knew you. I never knew Zach. I never knew Billy. The paintball has brought all four of us together tonight,
Well, Josh probably knows me through Bill because every single time Bill meets somebody, he's like, let me tell you about this guy named Zach.
Well, either that or he's seen your poster at the post office. It's got to be one or the other.
Every time I see Zach, I see him wearing that pink tutu.
That tutu died at Dreaded Legends 1 when I went through a briar patch and I had to peel it off me like Velcro.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Ooh. Wow, so the tutus no more?
Actually, no, I made another one. It's over in the other room. I wore it for Robin Hood this last weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Except this one's yellow and purple for some reason.
You guys looking forward to going? How's the weather supposed to be this coming weekend for Living Legends?
Saturday's going to rain.
Is it?
You had to talk about the.
Yeah, right.
You know what? No. I got to tell you, I just, whenever I go someplace, I'm looking at the weather about 10 times a day.
I've been checking since last week too, and I checked just about.
An F stamp on this just for that.
Sorry, I hope it doesn't. I really do. But Fred, I do have to echo your sentiments. Paintball is all about the people, and I have gotten to know some of the best people. Some of the best people I know. through paintball, and it's fun. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Here's another one. I don't know how many paintballers but I've been blessed because I've been in this since like '84. So I go way back, and I've got to meet a lot of people. And
I love
Kevin
you,
Donaldson,
Kevin.
yeah, Kevin Donaldson. He's head of a team called Master Blasters, and he is part of the WCPL, one of the owners of the WCPL.
I got a Master Blasters patch around here somewhere.
Do you really? And yeah, he's a great guy. Dan. First of all, I hope you'll friend me after this show. I'd like to have you as a friend.
All right, let's do that. Yeah.
So we can go back and forth.
Sure.
Yeah, you can take Zach's place. It'd be cool. Zach, I love you. Come on.
So there.
I'm gonna go cry in a corner.
No. That's what I do after the show when people tease me about my hair.
At least have some.
Yeah. You know what? That's what I was going to say, Dan. You were my favorite tonight. So.
Well, good. Okay.
I love it. I got mine too. I've been letting it go for.
Very lovely.
You got to do a comb forward.
I did that. Yeah, the Trump look.
Just
pretty good.
Get it all the way forward.
Oh boy. We're going off the rails now.
Yeah, it's degrading quickly, isn't it? So Dan, what's your next project now? You look like a guy that just doesn't stop.
It's good that you asked. I'm actually over here picking up my next project, which is a very rare Angel LCD.
Oh, wow.
It's a body that was made by WDP, and it was at the end of the run of the LCDs. And I really wanted to do an Angel to honor what it did for the sport.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what I've always been doing is I did the auto mags and the cockers mostly exclusively because those were the markers in our day. That was what everybody was talking about. Everybody was playing with. It was, you were either or. And I mean, I have to say, I was a cocker shooter and I never even thought about an auto mag until I shot one. And then I never looked back. I just started playing auto mag from then on. And but that was part of my identity in the 90s. And that's why I always did those markers. The Sterling was my own personal project. And now I thought it was kind of time to make another statement. And I really felt like the Angel really changed the game when it came out. And it would be a good marker to really give a nice tribute. And that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. Now the Angel, when the Angel came out, they were pretty hot. I mean, not a lot of people had them because of the price of them. They were really real expensive when they first came out. But, for some reason, they shot great. I liked it. But
you remember the first day you heard it, didn't you? You remember the first day you played with one.
Oh, well, I tried them out. I never bought one because I was sponsored by Tom K. Airgun Designs.
Yeah.
So I shot the mag, and then when I went overseas, I took an autococker because Bud and I have been friends for a long time, and so I took an autococker and shot an autococker too. But it seemed like the autococker, it had just a longer flat shot than the Angel did. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
What do you think, Billy?
Oh, it definitely did.
I agree with that. I agree with that too.
Yeah, and it still does. That's what I shoot. I use my autococker when I play now. I know this is a gun that I play with now. I'm going to send it to Zach to be polished. But
I have the polishing stuff over here somewhere.
I know you do. I knew you were going to rub that in. I love it.
This is the polishing stuff. It's called metal.
Good?
It's good. It's from the Polish.
Oh man.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
I
So
guess
what you do is you take a lot of it and you just pour it all over the gun.
Yeah, we're talking about polishing, buddy. But anyhow,
You know,
yeah,
you know how to spell farm in Poland?
How's that?
Uh-oh.
E-I-E-I-O.
And 12 viewers just dropped off. So.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Oh man. You know, yeah, Dan, I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Well, thank you very much. I'm also loaning my son's computer to do this, and he's like waiting to get it back, and I got to finish packing for tomorrow. So if you don't mind, I would sign off.
Absolutely.
And get to it. I'll send you.
Say goodbye. I'm gonna let you say goodbye to everybody, and but I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on tonight.
Thanks so much for having me. And to everybody out there, I hope I get to see you at Living Legends. And if not, maybe in the future somewhere else.
There you go.
All right.
Right on, Dan. Send me a friend request, my friend.
Thank you. Yes, I will.
Thanks for sharing your art.
Thank you, Bill. Okay. We'll see you later. Take it easy.
Have a good evening.
All right. Bye.
All right,
we're supposed to talk about Living Legends or something, right?
Trigonomics. What? And I mean, first of all, he's an artist. Second of all, what a great person. Very, very good to talk to. You know, when you mentioned having him on, Zach, you know, first of all, I took you for your word because, you know, I trust you, you know, but, you know, you were absolutely right about him. He is first class all the way, and his ability for what he does is just it's mind-boggling, man. It just is.
The interesting thing with Dan is one of these people in the sport that he goes and he sits in the corner and he does his own thing, and then every once in a while he comes out of the corner and he goes, "Look at this," and everybody goes, "Oh my God!" Then he just goes back in the corner and.
Yeah. And does it. And, you know, and now this week I'll be taking a grinder like this. All of a sudden the trigger frame will fall off, and you know, pieces of the ground.
Well, I got to be honest. I have metalworking tools myself. He has taught me how to polish stuff. I've watched all of his videos, and I'll look at a piece of metal and I'll go, well,
yeah. Well, some of it's so thin and so intricate. Polishing it has got to be tough. Because, you know, it's not like you can rub on it, man. You got to polish it a little bit at a time.
So I had to I don't say I had to take apart the mad cocker disease. I got to take apart the mad cocker disease and polish it. You go on the Trigonomics Facebook page, there's a picture of it taken apart as the banner. And I got to say that polishing that was easier than polishing the micro cocker here, because you could take a little bit of polish and you could pinch rather than like working a whole area. You could just pinch and polish little spots. And I have an overabundance of Q-tips now.
Yeah, it's got to take forever to polish something like that. Jeez.
I think in just getting the tarnish off of it, and I think I put 8 hours into polishing the Mad Cocker. I think I got 6 into polishing the Micro Cocker, and the dolly over here didn't have too much. I think I put an hour into polishing that. And the dolly is one that actually really fascinates me, because he wanted a cocker that was timed. So he thought about Salvador Dali and the melting clocks, and how it's an attempt at surrealism. Well, I shouldn't say attempt. It's surreal, but it's his attempt to kind of mimic Salvador Dali's work, and it's a hand hammered and formed brass grip frame. Wow. No, I used Auto Soul metal polish.
Wow.
And so this is what he recommends, and this is so when he sent me the trigger that's on my mag up there, I went out and bought one of these, and he told me to throw it away, and I did. Totally did.
Again.
But this is what he recommends, and this stuff works fantastic.
Does it?
It does. It's
wow,
expensive.
Billy, what do you think of some of them markers, man?
Every time I see them, I'm in awe. You know, I've held the others, and it's like, oh my God, you know.
There's a guy out here too. I held his markers up north, but he had some, and it was an autococker. And I got to tell you, I held it. It was so light that I couldn't believe I was holding an autococker. I mean, he shaved it a lot. Obviously, it wasn't intricate like that, but the weight of it was just incredibly light. It blew me away.
I have to have a little bit of weight to a marker that I have. I have to be able to feel that I'm playing with it, not that I'm like, oh gosh.
Wow. Then you should need, what is that, Billy? SMG 68 or something like that?
On which one?
The heavy.
I got this.
No, that's not heavy enough. No.
The heavy.
I let somebody shoot this who used to. He's like, well, okay, it's not shooting. I'm like, you have to pull the trigger.
Electronic kid. Yep.
He ought to do that one with a Pro-Am, the old original aluminum front grip and everything. Everything was aluminum on a Pro-Am. That would be
the one I'm thinking of is it's a 68. I think it's got the double thing. It came out and it had a camo on it. It was a camo color. God bless
the Spider?
It. No, not a Spider. No, this is way back. This is my first semi-automatic. Jeff Promoter sent it to me along with
the BM68.
BM68. That's it. Yeah. You want to talk about weight? That baby was heavy. And then I had the old air system on it.
Yeah.
I just thought I had to put wheels on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
The Trigonomic Sterling is actually set up to have a dual tank. I wouldn't put two tanks on it.
Wow.
But it is set up for it.
The VM68, you can hook up 3 tanks to it.
Yeah, it'd take 3 men and a boy to carry it around.
It was a monster.
Really?
Not only could you throw some fire down, but you could also produce your own smoke.
Yeah.
You can make a smoke screen with all the CO2 coming out of your barrel.
I remember my Automag that I built back in 2001 to 2002, and it was 20-ounce CO2. This expansion chamber on the front of it, and then I had a warp feed and the steel body, and it was
Yep. Yeah. Well, tell you what, Zach, first of all, I appreciate so much you coming on tonight, man. That was very, very cool, and I am going to let you say goodbye.
Hey, Living Legends is happening this weekend. Did we mention that?
We mentioned it a few times, and
cool.
It's going to be, what the heck have I got on here? And it's going to be at Hell Survivors. I got something on my screen. I can't figure out what it is. There it goes. Wow, it's been a night, man.
It's a fly. Hit it.
No. Oh,
I hear a wasp in my room. I keep looking for it.
Yeah.
I heard it before too. I was trying to figure out what that was.
I'm gonna let's say goodbye to everybody, Zach, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on tonight, and for turning us on to Dan. Great. That was just great to see some of his works, buddy.
Dan's work needs to be seen.
Well, we're going to do that.
It's such a shame that art gets put away.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to change. And it's one of the reasons Dan wanted to involve me, is that I don't see it as a possession. I see it as a display.
Correct.
Something that needs to be
It absolutely is. And I'll work with you on that. We'll get some of the pictures of his stuff out there and show it off, because he deserves it. That's a lot of work. Period.
Yes. So I will see you guys later. I'm going to go get some sleep. It's 10 o'clock. I'll talk to you all later.
All right. Take it easy, my friend. All right, everybody. That was Mr. Zach Arbuckle. He's a great guy. I love interviewing with him. He's funny as hell, man. You know what? Yeah, and we kept him down a little bit tonight too, Billy. Sometimes, boy, he can really get rolling.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. The first time the first time they brought the Trigonomics gun to the museum, they kept it in a box and they let very few people touch it. and we had a picture of a Bud you know, or no, wait, it was Tom, and he had it in his hand, and he had a hammer, and he was coming back like this
Oh,
because the year before we had a picture of Bud with the automag and had a hammer, and it was acting like he was going to hit the automag.
hey, you gotta love those guys, huh?
It was funny. Yeah.
Well, right on, Billy.
Whew.
Let's say goodbye to everybody.
Yep.
See everybody.
Real simple, huh? Right on, brother.
Totally.
Remember, tomorrow night, Bill and Kenny Stewart are on the, what time? 6 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock your time.
Yeah, 8 o'clock
9 o'clock Eastern time.
Yep. Night at the museum, general paintball. Yep.
There you go. Great show. They talk about a lot of history.
Yep.
A lot of history. Right on, Billy.
And then we ramble on to several other things.
Right on, brother.
All right.
Have a good evening. Tell Susan I said hi.
Yep, will do.
Hi, buddy. All right, everybody. I appreciate so much you watching tonight. One more time before we get off here, please, if you get a chance, jump on Flagpole Productions and check out, send that gentleman a birthday card if you get a chance. And check out Daniel Gonzalez and his raffle and his fundraiser he's doing for that teenager that's got stage 3 cancer. That's just got to be rough on everybody. So one more time, I appreciate so much everybody watching. Remember, when we all work together, we make paintball bigger and better. So please, until next week, 7 o'clock Pacific time, on Facebook, on Flagpole Production, please play hard, play safe, play fair. Get out there and play some paintball. Thank you so much, everybody. Good evening.